Just finished building it. Well, I built this box a couple days ago. Just getting ready for the customer to come and do an install. These are the dimensions of this box. It's 24 inches wide by 15.75 inch high, 34 and a quarter inch in depth. The displacement of the sub is roughly 0.37. I'm only using this as one of the high end. It could be a little bit lower, which is better if it's a little bit smaller, because then that means that the volume will increase and the hertz will actually drop as well when that happens. Also, it's 3/4 inch wood, 3/4 inch port wood. One subwoofer cutout is 14.5 inches. Port is 5 inches wide by 14 and 3/8 and 23.5 inches deep. This is the box that I am talking about. We are going to take this, and so as you scroll down now, you will see that it is 4.83 cubic feet, tuned for 34.86 hertz. It's got a port area of 71.88 square inches, which is 14.8, which is between the 12 to 16 that they request for such a subwoofer. It will play between 26 hertz and 69. So it sets your LPF to 70 hertz, subsonic filter to 26 hertz. That way you get very little excursion. Unless your subwoofer is made for it and you're not putting a lot of wattage into it, you can get away with tuning that a lot lower. It's just that's because it says that the sub will do a lot of flexing at that time. So I am going to pause this, and then I'm going to go upstairs, punch these parameters into the WinSD program so you can see it, and we'll run it on that program so you can see how this sub works. So now we are on the WinSD program. So we will go to new and open. We will go up to, I have this subwoofer built in here, PT Wolfram 15, select. It'll be one subwoofer, select. You'll notice this tells you these are vented 6th orders, these are closed and 4th. So this is right in the middle, so it likes all 4 boxes, but it will perform extremely well in a closed or a bandpass 4, just for your own information, if you are wondering what the parameters will play best in, which we all know 4th orders. So what we will do is we'll take the box with the parameters that we used from this one here, which is 4.83, and it says that the tuning frequency, which we will go with this. This is one thing I will say that I've noticed, is that when you use this was 14.375 by 5 inches, and we know that it was 23.5. This will give us a parameter. It tells you now this is actually tuned for 36 hertz compared to the 37 or 34 or 35. It actually says 34.86. So that's one thing that you have to debate, which program is lying. I'm not a mathematician, so I don't know how to do it manually. But regardless, now you can see how this box performs. At a multitude, it'll hit 6 times louder at 38, 39 hertz, which I prefer because that's in the middle of music from 50 down to 30. So you have a really nice bass line. That does not mean that it's playing its hardest around this, like this is its best. It just hits for magnitude. But when you go to SPL, and we will change his signal because the amplifier he is running is 5,000 watts. Now, as you can see, his music plays a very wide range and falls off towards here and climbs here. So it's very, so I would say right about here which is 32 hertz. His music will play very well between all of this, which is very good music for a daily listener. It's going to play plenty. Next thing we want to look at is rear port velocity. Rear port velocity, as you can see, so around the 28 hertz mark, when he's bumping 5,000 watts through this bad boy, anything over that, it is going to get a little bit violent in the port. It is a straight firing port, so I am not so worried about turbulence noise coming out. We could have probably went with a little bit wider of a port, but it's not going to cause any problems. Group delay, it says at around 36 hertz. It will have it won't transfer bass as fast. From what my understanding is, you want these numbers to be really low, so it means that as this is lower, it means that the frequencies change really fast. It's no group delay, as they say. Like, so if you're playing one frequency like an echo, it'll play another frequency. Well, it takes a second to start playing that frequency. It's not sharp, that sound quality bass, but so as he tunes higher, it will get a little hectic. Cone excursion. I will go like this, go back, cone excursion again. So the cone excursion is nice because he shall set it down to 30 hertz. Now this is what he's playing if he's playing 5,000 watts through this, which he is going to be. If he could play it any lower, because what is the amp actually giving him compared to that it's going to be rated at 12 volts, because when your bass is hitting that hard, your amplifier is not getting that much. So I'd say honestly he's probably getting about 3,500 watts. Saying that, now you can see he can get down to 27, just as the app says you can get 26.14. So you can get a lot better. Now what we will go back to is the rear port velocity, and as you see, the rear port velocity gets down to 35. I like it in the 30s personally myself, but he has just a little bit of a hump around this mark. Now it's okay because most of the music I've noticed that he listens to is really low. So if he's playing the really low stuff, it's fine. And he listens to a lot of rock, which is going to be the 40 plus hertz. So it's really nice. He's not going to be playing too much things at around 35 hertz. Music's not recorded at that. It's usually 29, 32s, 40s, 45s, and 50s. So we lucked out with the way this is going to be around here. Now this is going into the trunk of a car. So it's going to be extremely loud. Now also I do have this app that if we take this information, I hope that I have this punched in. I believe I do. Dun, 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 dun. Do I have a Wolfram PT? Yes, Wolfram 15-inch PT. Now I have 115 loaded. The box we are going to take is a slotted port. We are going to listen to music. We are going to say he's got about 5,000 watts. Well, we'll go with the we'll go between the 5,000 and 3,500. So we'll go with 40 to 50-ish. Okay. The rest I'm not too concerned about because we are going to manually punch this in. So we do know that the vent, the cross section is 71.88, I think it was 787. The length of this port is 23.5. We know that the box itself is 4.8, 4.83, I think, 83. And we push the tune button. As you see, this tells us that it's tuned for 36 hertz as well. So with that, now the thing that sucks is we do not have his car. I don't have his car's information, unfortunately. But it does say that with 115, and as you can see, below the 30 hertz mark, that's his excursion line. So that says that his speaker will overscourge below about 28 hertz. It'll start to be an excursion warning at that much volume, at 4250. So you definitely want to set your thing for 30 hertz. Your low passive filter, or your subsonic filter, and not your high passive filter. Anyways, it's going to push out 146.5 at 2209 watts. This is your impedance, so it's going to be really low around these. So it's going to pull a lot of current around these frequencies. But yes. Now, if I had his vehicle, and we'll just say roughly his vehicle is the same. So we've seen that it was 146.3, I believe it just said. If we were to say that this was going into a Nissan, I've measured a Nissan. That's the only reason why. So this program tells you how to measure. And if you follow this measuring and you count in this, it'll tell you and you calculate. And that's the resonant frequency of your car. All vehicles are different. Now, when I punch that in, go back and I refresh, now it says that I'm going to hit 146.4 at 38 hertz, still at 2209. Most of the information will stay the same, but it will tell me what my resonance is for that vehicle. You can also go like this and build. It'll do primary build. You tell the computer system, well, I want to hit between 25 to 80 hertz, and I'm looking mostly for SPL. You say how many, oops, I forgot to put that part in. How much cubic feet do you have that you have? It says that we have 7 cubic feet of grouse spot. So we'll punch this in, and as you see, as it says 6.7, that if we can get it down to that, and this is your port, and they would tune it for 40 hertz to get that much. And you can see you went up to 148.6 with less wattage because it's tuned higher for frequency. So you can always go less wattage when you go higher. When you go lower into the frequencies, it starts to get a lot more wattage. You'll see it climbs because to hit the SPL to make that much movement, because now you're moving more air than you are moving pressure. So it's completely two different things. I know it kind of sounds probably weird to some people, and I don't sound like I know what I'm talking about, but it's very different. You could tell when somebody says they're tuning for SPL, they'll say that they tune their boxes anywhere up in the high 30s, really into the 40s, usually for SPLs. And for anybody that's just looking for bass boxing, they have theirs tuned between 35 and down up to, I've seen some people go down to 22 hertz, which is just crazy. Takes a lot of wattage to make those subs move, so you can hear it. It doesn't take a lot to make them move. It's just to make that bass so you actually hear it. But yeah, so that's a quick thing. So I went from that to that just by changing your port size onto the box. But yeah, so one love. Hope you enjoy this, and you can learn something from this program. Please leave comments or any questions you have, and I'll be glad to answer back to you. Glory to the Most High, and stay safe.
The only thing that bothers me now is that this is upside down.